Today is a day of organizing, and I made another video where I organized kind of our art cart here, and that is still going well for the most part. But I have a whole bunch of school supplies I've got to get put away. I'm working on making my kids a school box. I've got to clean my homeschool cabinet that's behind me, and maybe some other things. But I thought this is the mess I'm working with right now. And this thing here too, which we're gonna move towards school boxes, I think, this year, because normally this sits in the middle of our kitchen table, and I'll be honest, it kind of gives me anxiety. So I'm gonna try to get rid of this and use it in another way and get school boxes, get school supplies put away. That's my first task. So I'll show you when I'm done with that. So I'm going through and sorting some things into my kids' school boxes, and then I'm making kind of like this reserve of school supplies that I think I'm going to keep in my cabinet so that they don't just get a new pencil every time their pencil needs sharpened, just so I can kind of keep track of things a little better. But pile of crap I need to deal with. This is my homeschool cabinet here, which we will get to soon, but I have these drawers in here of all of this kind of stuff. So I'm going to pull out all of the writing implements from here and see if they can be sorted into that container. I got their school boxes ready to go with their crayons, and then just individual dry erase marker, 2 different Sharpies, a black pen, a red pen, and a couple pencils and some erasers, pencil sharpener, scissors, glue stick, their new markers. This is just a little pencil grip for my son. So his school box is ready. I showed a lot of this in my most recent school supply haul, so I'll link that for you. Same thing with my daughter's. Pretty much all the same stuff in hers, except she has some highlighters because she uses those quite a bit. If my son ends up needing to use highlighters, we'll add those to his. I've got plenty. I took all of those loose pencils and highlighters and markers, and I put them in here. These are all our gel highlighters, all of our other highlighters, all of our wood pencils, colored pens, mechanical pencils, dry erase and wet erase marker. And so I'm not sure if I'm going to store this in my cabinet or if I'll put it up here. But this is like markers and things my kids use, and colored pencils when they're doing art. I originally was going to put these erasable colored pencils in their school box, but honestly they don't use them like a ton. Like, they don't need them as part of their immediate access supplies. So if they do need them, they can pull this down from the top of our art cart. So that's good. I pulled out our old watercolors, old cups, and went through and got rid of some brushes that are not being used anymore. I put the tape away. I added the erasers and some other things to here to keep track of it. In that drawer, all of our old crayons are in here, so if they're just doing coloring like on their own, like this stuff I want just to be used for when we're doing school. We'll see how that goes, but we have extra full boxes of crayons here. These are just the bin of all the old crayons. I did buy a new box of just black crayons, which I don't think made it into any of my homeschool hauls, but if you watched my video where I organized this cart, I'll link that. If you watch that, you'll see that we just needed more black. What else? Nothing changed there, nothing changed there. And then here's the paint drawer where I put in our new watercolors. Those are our watercolor pencils. Put in some fresh cups and just went through the paintbrushes there. So that step is done. Now I've got to kind of regroup and see what I'm gonna do. All right, it is a new day. I'm going to tackle this cart because I'm avoiding doing the cabinet behind me. I had started to organize this by putting stuff that I was gonna use kind of early in the school year on the top of this cart. And then I put a whole bunch of summer stuff on it and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I'm gonna start by taking the summer stuff off and putting it on our summer cart. A lot of our summer stuff is like over here on display, but that's what I'm gonna start with. Okay, so I kind of got this middle shelf cleared off, and I've got summer stuff put back on the summer cart. This is just my daughter's regular cart and just kind of reorganize the summer stuff a little bit. So this is just like a bin of random stuff that I use, like my supplies. So I'm gonna go through and try to organize that a little bit and maybe add like my pencil thing back in there, and yeah, I'm gonna go from there. Well, that's quite a bit of mess. So I'm gonna keep my gum. Probably keep my nail polish in there because that's usually when I have time. This is our, oh, what do you call this? Our Yodo player, which we use for Curiosity Chronicles. For right now, I'm gonna keep this in here, but it's going to have a different home once we start school. This we're done with. I made the new cards. Oh, is this them? Yeah, I made the new cards for the kids, so I'm gonna stick those in there for now and just continue to go through all of this and see what needs to be here and what does not. Okay, so these are just our pieces for our calendar over there, and my helper there is changing it to, we're just gonna go ahead and change it for August when we start school. So get that taken care of. I guess my knitting or crocheting doesn't really need to go in here. I do have a bin for that somewhere else. This is the cord for the Yodo player. Post-its go somewhere else. These are like my special pins. All right, I'm gonna carry on. All right, this is as good as this is gonna get for now. I've got, the top shelf is all stuff that we'll be using in the first couple months of school and that I'll need for like planning and things now. And then the second shelf is my stuff over here, my pencil pouch, the kids' school boxes. This stuff is just all temporary. Once I get their carts totally set, some of this will move to the cart, and then I have a couple games that we're gonna use in the first couple months. And then the bottom, these are just the bins that I, throughout the year, put their work in when we're done with it. So that is good. Now, I need to deal with this pile of stuff. That's my son's cart that's partly set up for next year. And then I have to move into the cabinet, which is kind of the part, I'm only even showing you half of it. It's so full and I'm kind of dreading it. I also need to take down the stuff from the bulletin board from last year. I also am going to need to declutter and organize the cube units there and like our technology cart, which is over under my bread machine. So I'm not sure which I'm gonna do next. We'll see. All right, I can't put it off any longer. I have to start. So I think what I'm gonna do is start by taking everything off the top shelf and start making piles and then kind of continue on that way. I think I might get rid of this drawer thing that's down here because I don't think it's being used the best it could be. I'm not sure, but that's how I'm gonna start. Okay, so I have a pile of curriculum that is for future years, so I'm just gonna start that here. These are like boxes for electronic things. So I don't know, they can probably go somewhere else. This is our recorder that I think we got when Ava was in like 2nd grade. I can't open it with one hand. Anyway, we haven't used it much, but I don't know that I'm ready to get rid of that. So I don't know about that. And then these cards I love, but I have not used them much, although I feel like this is the year maybe that they would fit really well as we're doing a lot of like election kinds of stuff. So I'm not gonna get rid of them yet. And then these, I think my kids will wanna use this year when we do the 50 states. This they won't ever let me get rid of. And then this is the box for these timers that we have. We might be ready to get rid of those. I need to see. So I'm gonna set this box aside and then I'm gonna start taking down the next shelf. All right, so the top shelf right now is, I put some of my kind of like art supplies up there. These are like homeschool related books. I have more to put there. And then these are kind of novels and nonfiction books that are for future years. And then like this whole shelf is curriculum I've either bought for the future or curriculum I'm saving for that my daughter used that I'm saving for my son. And then this shelf, these are empty binders. This binder has page protectors. This binder has dividers. This is notebooks. This one is these like, oh sorry, kind of file folder pouches that I really like. And some other file folders. These are plastic folders. I don't really like these really thin ones. So likely after this year, I'll probably get rid of some, but our good ones that I like, the 5-star ones are in there. And then this is just like paper, different kinds of paper. And that's as far as I've gotten so far. I also have this big pile on my floor of stuff I'm getting rid of. And then I also have a big pile on my on my table here that I'm still dealing with. I still have this pile over here that I'm still dealing with. And I still have these 2 shelves to deal with. But this might be where I stop it for today, so we'll see. Okay, it is a new day, but this cabinet is pretty much as done as it's going to be right now. So that looks pretty good. I still have this pile. This is my discard pile that I have to deal with. And then this pile is all stuff that I took out of the cabinet that lives someplace else or needs to live someplace else. So I'm gonna work on that. And then I've gotta kind of figure out what of this is trash, what goes to garage sale, what goes whatever. That's my task right now. All right, so right now, this is kind of like our technology cart. It's super dirty inside and it's not organized anymore. And these are all cords and things that I cleaned out of the cabinet that probably should go on this cart. So I'm gonna work on organizing that right now. I got this as good as it's gonna get. It's not pretty, but it's organized. So I would love it so much better if this laptop would fit sideways, but it won't. So I've got that. The kids' 2 laptops are a portable DVD player, and then these are like my son's Kindle and Switch and my daughter's Kindle and Switch, and then we've got headphones and the mice for the computer and their Cosmo watches and some other miscellaneous things up here. What I'd like to get is some kind of power strip that I could attach to the back of this, that the cords could just like run through, so something could always be charging, but that's a problem for another day. But for now, that is ready to go. Keep going. Okay, so my daughter actually, well, both the kids helped clear this off. We decided to move our art cart, which I'll show you in a minute. So I had the kids help me with that, and my daughter kind of just took over organizing this. I went through like the art books and pulled out some things we didn't need, but since she was willing to take it on, I just let her go at it. And then we were able to fit our keyboard in, which was what my goal was, because that had been on our kitchen counter. So this area is now done, and I can move on to the last little cube unit that we have. So this is like the last main area that I need to go through and organize. I also need to do like the back of this door because that's all from last year. So I'm just, I don't know. I don't think there's really much here that needs gotten rid of, but it just needs straightened up a little bit. So I'm probably just gonna do a quick straighten and then see if there's anything on top there, because it's looking a little cluttered, anything that we can rehome. So that's what I'm gonna do. Right. I just did like a real quick straightening, and I pulled a few things that either don't go here or that I'm gonna get rid of. And I'll have to have the kids go through here because they can pull out things that they're not interested in, and also they can do a little straightening too because they're the ones who mess it up. And then the top still needs dusted, but that's the best I can do with that right now. I'll probably eventually move that space model, but I'm not sure where to right now. So at any rate, that's done. I'm gonna take down what's on the back of this door so that that's taken care of, and then we'll see. Okay, so this is where I moved the art cart kind of over here next to the cabinet, which I think I showed you already. I just put like our election unit stuff all down there in that pile, and like that's all first day of school stuff. And anyway, so that's how it's looking. I cleared off all the old stuff from the board. Some of it I wanted to keep up. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to accomplish in this video. It did take me a couple days. This wasn't all in one day, but I'm feeling pretty good about it. So yeah, now I can move on to like putting up stuff for the new year and finalizing, organizing my kids' carts and doing some final planning and prepping. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, let me know down below. If you're not subscribed, I'd love it if you did subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. I'll talk to you down in the comments.